Hello, and welcome to Pandora Astrology's monthly horoscope for Libra. I'm Jamie Kale Miller.
And I'm Julia Mijas. And hello there, Libra. So I am going to talk to you about things that you care very much to, Libra, relationships. And relationships and finance really go hand in hand with you this month. And what I mean by that is we've got a lot of planetary activity happening between your seventh and eighth houses. So the seventh house is your romantic partner. The eighth house is shared income. And that can be shared income with your romantic partner or your family. And it can even represent institutions like banks. So the seventh, like I mentioned, that's the relationships. And we've got Mars going through your seventh house. That's the planet of drive. That's the planet of activity. And with Mars is in the seventh, there's a spectrum of ways this can play out. Number one, it could be a time that you're getting a lot more feisty with your partner. Maybe they annoy you a little bit more. Maybe you guys are disagreeing a little bit more because that Mars is being activated in there. However, Mars in the seventh can be super, super useful if you have projects you need to do with your partner. So if you guys have to like paint some rooms in your house together and you've been putting it off, this is the month to get really active, really busy with your partner. Go to the gym together, go for a jog together, go for a hike. And then you're going to actually really get the higher side of this Mars in the seventh, which can be really, really helpful. Now, the sun is going to be moving into the eighth house. It's going to be there until May 20th. So wherever the sun is that spotlight of our awareness, our consciousness is there. A big focus of the month is there. So the eighth house, again, this is the house of shared income with your partner. Venus is going to be in this house until May 23rd. So maybe your partner is making a little bit more money and sharing things with you. If you're not in a relationship, then Venus in the eighth house can be a great time for you to work on your own finances. If you need to apply for a loan, for example, this can be really, really helpful. And then Mercury, the planet of communication, is in your seventh house until mid-month, May 15th, and then it switches over to the eighth. So Mercury is crossing that sector of lots of communication with your partner, doing your best thinking with your partner. This could be the first half of the month, a wonderful time to plan and strategize with your partner. Then for the second half of the month, start thinking about your money, start organizing your money, have conversations. If you need to have a hard conversation about money, really good month for it because Venus being in the eighth house is going to make things more peaceful. Mercury in there means that you can really see things with a lot of clarity. Now, the sun is going to try and Ceres the money asteroid around May 9th through the 12th. So again, this gives you a really good boost to your finances because the sun, your focus, is going to be really nicely supported by Ceres, that money asteroid. And Venus also is going to be trining Ceres the 14th through the 17th. So overall, I think this is a really great month to get your finances in order, especially how they might relate to your partner. And I think Jamie has some things to tell us about career.
Yeah, absolutely. Career and home are a little intertwined this month. Ceres is going to go retrograde in Capricorn, and that's happening in your fourth house of home, but it's happening in Capricorn, which is a sign of career. So, especially if you work from home, there may be some adjustments that you need to make to your workflows and how you manage things around your work in your home space. And it really might be a 4-month period, Ceres retrograde, going to go on from mid-May towards the end of August. It's going to be a time when really not just you, but many of us are going to be looking at how do we manage the finances of our career or work. But there's a really sweet connection that is going to happen early in the month that is going to set you up to win with Ceres retrograde. And that is that the new moon in Taurus lands in your eighth house. It's happening on May 7th. And the reason that I'm mentioning a moon is because the moon is the ruler of your career house. Your 10th house is governed by the sign of Cancer and therefore the moon. So if you want to know how your career stuff is going in general, the moon is the planet to watch. And a new moon is a time for planting seeds, new beginnings. This particular new moon landing as it does in your eighth house could infuse your heart with a burst of new energy for making a difference at work. which is very sweet, but equally it could bring an infusion of investment. But ask yourself what will be expected of you in exchange. In other words, if somebody invests in you, loans you money, if you find yourself with a borrowing opportunity, ask yourself what's expected. What is this exchange really going to be? And how does that feel to you on your end? What will you owe as a result of this? The moon, this new moon, connects really beautifully with Ceres and Saturn both. So if you take your obligations seriously, both in your career at work and also in terms of any borrowing that you might do under this moon, if you take your obligations seriously, and if you prefer a slow growth situation over a get rich quick scheme, then you're going to be able to derive some great benefit from this moon. Find our site at pandoraastrology.com to get a reading with one of us, and find us on Patreon for workshops and classes. And we'll see you around the cosmos.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.